From Tom Brady leading the NFL in career passing yards, to Phil Mickelson being one of the top 50 golfers in the world for 1,353 weeks straight, let's get into the longest-standing records that still haven't been broken. When Tom Brady announced his retirement in 2023, the NFL world was in shock, especially because he had just surpassed Drew Brees' seemingly unbreakable record of 80,358 yards just a few days prior. TB12, aka the GOAT of the NFL, has passed for 89,214 yards in his entire career, and that's just counting the regular season. He leads the league in the playoffs too, with his total passing yardage standing at 13,400. That's just insane. And if anyone doubted Brady's GOAT status before, they definitely can't do the same anymore. Nobody is touching him when it comes to these numbers. All the players who even come close to those 89,214 yards are retired, and any current NFL players are far from getting to that huge number. The 7-time Super Bowl winner is going to go down in history for sure. In 2022 alone, he passed for 4,694 yards and 25 touchdowns. Brady made sure his third and last year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was unforgettable. This isn't the only everlasting record that Tom set in his 20-plus year career, though, because he has the most consecutive seasons on a winning team in the NFL at 21. Yep, 21, that's a long time, because most NFL players' bodies give up before a decade is over. Tom Brady gets major bragging rights for being one of the 9 players in all of NFL history to play for over 2 decades. Of course, Brady's simply built differently than them too. All the other 8 players had multiple losing seasons, while the GOAT only played on 2 losing teams during his first and last seasons. In his rookie year, TB12 was Drew Bledsoe's backup when the Patriots were at 5-11, and in 2022, the Bucs, despite being the NFC South leaders, went 8-9. These 2 seasons barely mean anything when you compare them to Brady being on a winning team for 21 seasons. There was only one bump in the road in 2002, but the star quarterback did his best and led his squad to countless victories. If you still don't get how big of a deal this is, let me put it into perspective. Tom Brady's #1 rival, Peyton Manning, had only 12 consecutive winning seasons. Now, if that's not GOAT behavior, then I don't know what is. Nobody will ever do it like TB12. The man who got selected for the Pro Bowl 15 times, became a 3-time AP MVP, and a 7-time Super Bowl champion. His record is untouchable. And speaking of untouchable records, I just have to talk about LeBron James, who broke Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time NBA points record in early 2023. This is a huge deal, especially because Kareem's record was standing for 39 years. That means the 76-year-old former Lakers center set the record before LBJ was even born. In a game against the OKC, LeBron finally silenced his haters, scoring 38,388 career points by the end of it. Before going into the game, the Lakers superstar only needed 36 points to break the record. But in true LeBron fashion, he scored them before the game was even over. As if this couldn't get even more iconic, the legendary Kareem Abdul-Jabbar himself was in the crowd, watching the Lions shatter the record in real time. After LeBron broke the record, the age-old debate of who the NBA's GOAT was making rounds again. Being a 4-time NBA champion and league MVP, the kid from Akron has definitely earned his place among the NBA greats. This record was just the cherry on top. Either way, it's clear that the NBA has no lack of talent, and teams like the Golden State Warriors are proof. The Warriors have a remarkable roster, one that defies all logic and set an unbeatable record back in 2016. Finishing the season with 73 wins, Coach Steve Kerr's team made him very proud in the 2015-16 season. After all, they set the record for the most wins in an NBA season that year. What's even wilder is that Golden State only had 9 losses that year. From the legendary trio of Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson, to top-notch players like Andrew Bogut and Harrison Barnes, their roster had everyone jealous. Together, they put up a record-breaking performance, breaking the 1996 Bulls record of 72 straight wins that everyone thought was unconquerable. That's the thing about the Warriors. They're always going to stand out. The Golden State Boys have earned the title of being one of the best NBA teams ever, but 2015-16 wasn't all sunshine and rainbows for them. Even though they had the best regular season in history, they couldn't beat LeBron James and the Cavs in the finals. The Chicago Bulls said that those 72 wins didn't mean a thing without a ring, but they're still legendary. The same goes for the Warriors, because 2016 was the year that they became certified NBA legends, and nothing will change that. Even though they didn't get the title, they probably slept well, knowing they're one of the two teams who have 70-plus wins in a season. You know who else sleeps well at night? Jim Miller. Yep, the MMA artist and UFC champion. That's because A10 holds one of the most incredible records in Ultimate Fighting Championship history. At 24 wins, everyone is scared of the lightweight fighter. After all, he does have an insane amount of experience. He's been competing since 2008 and is as well-rounded as a fighter can get. His opponents are no match for a strong submission game and aggressive style, which is why they give up so easily. Andrei Arlovsky and Donald Cerrone are the only two fighters right behind Miller's insane record, with both of them having 23 wins under their belts. I doubt that either of them is going to beat A10's record anytime soon. He's a UFC legend and always will be. I can say the same for Anderson Silva, who holds the record for the longest ever win streak in the UFC. That's 16 wins back-to-back. Nobody is even coming close to beating this one, because Silva's skills are simply unmatched. That's how he kept the streak going for 7 years. Even though Kamaru Usman came close to his 16th UFC win, he was knocked to the ground by Leon Edwards. Usman is the only fighter in recent years who even came close to tying the Dancing Spider's record. Some athletes make it easy to break their records, but Serena Williams will never do that. She's simply unparalleled when it comes to her achievements. One thing about Serena, she's not just the women's tennis GOAT, she's the greatest in all of tennis history. That's exactly why Mama Smash is the only tennis player ever to complete a career Golden Slam in both doubles and singles. If you don't know what that means, she's the only tennis player who's won all 4 majors, along with Olympic gold in the singles and doubles category. She's her own competition because nobody is ever coming close to this record. Not in the near future, at least. I mean, who else can complete their first career Golden Slam at just 19? Serena's just on another level. After winning the Roland Garros and US Open championships in 1999, as well as the Wimbledon and Sydney Olympics titles in 2000 with Venus Williams, Mecca cemented her position as a true tennis great by adding the 2001 Australian Open to the list. All of her Grand Slam and Olympic doubles titles were won with her sister, which just makes this even more awesome. Her career Golden Slam in singles came when she was 30. Even though she secured all 4 major titles by the age of 21 in 2003, Williams didn't get her career Golden Slam until 2012 in the London Olympics. She completed her collection of major titles again, and that's why she's the greatest. There's no debate about that whatsoever. Now that I'm on the topic of greats and unbeatable records, it would be impossible not to mention Phil Mickelson. The 52-year-old pro golfer holds the record for the longest time anyone has ever stayed on the world's top 50 rankings in golf. After finishing as a runner-up in Japan at the Casio World Open in 1993, Mickelson entered the world's top 50 for the first time ever, and he had no intentions of leaving them so easily. Phil ended up staying in the top 50 for 1,353 straight weeks, setting a record that will stand the test of time. When he first entered the golf rankings, Lefty was just 23 years old. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and golf's greatest streak ended in 2019. The Californian pro exited the rankings as swiftly as he entered, finishing 28th at the World Golf Championships HSBC Champions in China. This record is definitely not going to be challenged anytime soon. It's hard to see such a record ever being challenged. If someone like Rory McIlroy wanted to come close to Mickelson's record, he would have to maintain the same form for the next decade and a half. So, from Phil Mickelson being one of the top 50 golfers in the world for 1,353 straight weeks, to Tom Brady being the NFL's leader when it comes to career passing yards, these were the longest-standing records that still haven't been beaten.